Hello, I'm Jeff Todd, and this is my video series, Self-Defense of the Elite. It's based on the self-defense modules of my close combat doctrine. The purpose of this series is to arm you with knowledge. The rest is up to you to practice until proficient and add the important missing ingredient, the will to win. I dedicate this series to my former instructor.
大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，一人一方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟，补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
The leg stomp is executed by pivoting, crouching, and stomping with the sole of the foot below the kneecap. It can be executed from both the front and from side on. A stable, balanced platform is essential to get an effective kick. Always maintain a balanced platform. The same kick executed from front on, simply by pivoting, crouching and kicking on or below your opponent's knee joint. The axe kick is executed by using the crouch, cover guard position and driving the axe kick down to cup around below the knee joint. It is faster and more direct than the leg stomp, but exposes you to more dangers of attack. The kick is executed once again on or below the knee joint. Crouch, cover, axe kick below the knee joint. The hand edge strike can be executed to minor or major vitals. It is executed to these vitals in relation to your desired result. The hand is rigid and angles slightly upward to strike with the side of the heel of the palm. The strike must retract as quickly as it extends. A deceptive turn-away motion is employed as a distraction prior to the hand edge strike. Turn away, cock the striking arm, extend and retract in one fluid motion. The elbow strike is employed in the same manner, but at a closer range using the point of the elbow to soft, exposed targets. Use a deceptive turn-away motion to set it up. Cock the elbow joint, drive it out to the delicate targets and retracting it as quick as it was extended. The deception of turning away is employed to achieve an effective elbow strike. If ever threatened, create a reactionary gap of a minimum of 2 meters to allow for evasion. This distance has been calculated on the fastest attacker and on the slowest counter-evasion skill. Remain neutral and focused on a threat. Remain in the ready position to evade, diagonally forward, preferably away from the striking arm to ensure you have the maximum time. Maintain eye contact in the ready position prior to any evasion. Break your reactionary gap for a minimum of 2 meters. Be in the ready position to evade. Maintain eye contact with the threat at all times. After evasion, to a side guard position, you would consider your counter-attack options. Break your 2 meter reactionary gap. Hold your ready position. When your attacker is fully committed, evade away from his striking limb to a side guard assessment position. From the side guard assessment position, choose the most effective counter-attack option. Always attack the attacker after evasion. If a striking limb presents itself, attack that, the immediate threat. Evade, assess, execute the relevant counter-attack option. Never take your eyes off the threat. Evade diagonally forward to a side guard position after you have broken the reactionary gap. Evade away from the travel or the striking limb to a position where you can counter-strike or kick. Evasions that take you diagonally forward provide greater success. They must be executed when your opponent is fully committed. He does not have the time or vision to change his attack, thus it creates you time and space to counter prior to him turning to redirect his attack onto you. The same evasion option should be executed against any attack. This includes punches, kicks, tackles, leg drives or pushing techniques. Evade away. Assess the situation. Execute the counter-attack, strike or kick. Evade. Assess, execute the relevant counter-attack option. Your lead hand is used predominantly for counter-striking and your rear or secondary hand can be used to guard vitals such as your throat. It is a backup hand if your lead hand fails to attack or counter-attack the striking limb. Continuously remember, control distance, remain ready, wait until the attacker is fully committed, evade diagonally forward to your side guard assessment position. Assess and execute the counter-attack options. Evade, assess, execute. A small step diagonally forward to the side guard position. Control distance. Remain ready. Sidestep diagonally forward to a side guard assessment position. Assess the situation and execute the desired counter-attack option. In the event that you evade towards an attacking limb immediately on recognition of evading to the incorrect or danger side, execute counter-attack options that enable you to neutralize the threat immediately. Timing is of the essence. If your evasion is timed correctly, the blow will simply miss the target and put you in a strong position to counter-attack. Your attacker will be aiming for where you are. With no prior knowledge of your evasion, he will not be aiming for where your sidestep will take you. Thus, if your timing is correct, he will miss and create a black spot, but where that moment in time, he will not realise where you are, and you can use that fraction in time to counter-attack. Evade, assess, execute. Control distance, remain ready, evade, assess, execute your counter-attack options. Timing and distance is essential. Remain focused and ready at all times. To counter a kick after evading towards the angle of the kick, immediately on recognition, execute a devastating kick to your opponent's stability leg. Immediately on evasion, when you realise you have gone towards the attacking limb, take out your attacker's platform leg by stamping on his stability leg. Evade, assess, execute your counter-attack options. Attacking major or minor vitals in relation to the threat or desired result. Attack the striking limb if it creates a threat after evasion, then counter kick or strike. After evading a kick, simply counter strike high to achieve devastating results. To combat being pushed after evasion, simply help your attacker on his way, or continue after him with kicking or striking actions. Evade, assess, recognise the push, help him on his way. The same evasion is executed to combat tackling or leg driving, evading away from the attacker's head, securing the head, and counter-striking or kicking. The head is the steering wheel of the body. To evade an attack from close in, Evade diagonally to the rear by parrying. Pull one foot back, pivoting on the other. Assess and execute as before. Pull back to side on. Assess and execute counter-attack options. To combat someone stalking you after breaking a reactionary gap of 2 meters, edge back and maintain the reactionary distance. Then step. Fake a punch or throw, turn and leg stamp his leg. To combat an attacker from stationary, without prior warning, when you're aware of a flash of colour or movement, crouch, cover up to make yourself a small and stable target, followed by an axe kick to decentralise your opponent. This is a reactionary drill, not a deliberate action. Crouch. Cover yourself to make yourself as small, covered and stable as possible. Deflect any blows, if necessary, that come inside your guard and counter-kick. If time does not allow for the crouching movement, simply cover and/or deflect and counter-kick. The area between your forearm should be regarded as your sights, and any blow that comes between them should be deflected. Counter a kick when there is no early warning sign. Crouch, cover, and counter a kick with a kick. From stationary side on, crouch to make yourself a small and stable target. Cover and counter kick with a leg stamp. Lock your defending arm firmly on your head so as to be able to use it to deflect or guard against and absorb the shock of powerful blows. Cover or crouch and cover and leg stamp below your attacker's knee from a side-on position. React to a flash of colour or movement by crouching, covering, deflecting if necessary, and counter-kicking to the closest leg, either the stability or kicking leg.
Tape 2, phase hold counters, provides the means to prevent, escape and counter a wide range of holds and grabs, from stationary or on the move.
Preventing grabs from the front. Parry diagonally to the rear. Use your lead palm or hand edge to strike your attacker's closest grabbing arm and prevent the grab. Parry. Break the grab and counter strike or kick. Parry diagonally to the rear, break the grab, and counter strike or kick. Always turn to side on to make your body too wide to grab. Protect your major vitals and to put you in a strong position to counter strike or kick. combat a shoulder grab, the preferred option is to turn to side on to protect your front. Trap your attacker's arm on your body and destroy his front by counter-striking or kicking. Turn side on by parrying to the rear. Trap your attacker's forearm on your chest to ensure he cannot get away from your strike or kick, and execute your counter-strike or kick. The same option can be applied from a variety of grab positions on the shoulders or upper arms. Turn side on to protect your front, trap your attacker from escape, and destroy his front with counter kicks or strikes. From an upper grab position, between the shoulder and elbow, turn side on, trap your attacker's arm on your body, and destroy his front in the same manner with counter strikes with the edge of the hand or elbow, or leg stamp below your attacker's knee joint. From an upper grab position, between the shoulder and elbow, turn side on, trap your attacker's arm on your body, and destroy his front in the same manner with counter strikes with the edge of the hand or elbow, or leg stamp below your attacker's knee joint. Turn, trap, strike is the formula to combat these forms of approaches and grabs. Turn side on to protect your front, trap your attacker's holding forearm on your body, pull free with your secondary hand and use it to apply strikes or counter kick with your lead foot to your opponent's closest leg. To combat a shoulder and wrist grab, use the same options. Turn side on to protect your front, trap your attacker, counter strike or kick. Turn, trap, strike. Turn side on by parrying diagonally to the rear. Trap the attacker's arm halfway between his elbow and wrist on your chest and counter kick or strike. Turn, combat a double wrist grab, turn side on to protect your front, trap with your rear hand by grabbing up and holding the wrist between your thumb and index finger. Pull your lead hand diagonally out, breaking the grip, and use it to counter-strike. Turn side on to protect your front, secure with your rear hand by grabbing up, forming a U around your opponent's wrist, and counter-striking with your lead arm or lead foot. If your opponent is too strong, turn side on to protect your front, raise your arms to neutralize his arms as a striking threat, and counter kick. When grabbed and threatened to be punched, harry back, turning side on, raise your guard straight from the side and counter-attack by kicking below the knee joint. Your raised guard arm can be used to counter-attack any striking limb. Never turn your back on your enemy. From behind, against the shoulder grab, step forward, turn side on, raise your guard and assess, counter kick or strike. Step forward, turn side on, raise your guard and assess, counter kick or strike. The same option can be used against a grab between the shoulder and elbow joint. Step forward, raise your guard, assess, execute your counter strike or kick option. This option can be employed against shoulder, upper arm or back of the neck and upper arm options. Step forward, turn side on, counter kick or strike. To counter a double wrist grab from behind, step forward, turn side on, secure both wrists of your opponent and counter kick, offsetting his balance by raising your guard. To counter a hair grab from the front, secure the holding arm from the outside, turn side on, bear the weight over the elbow joint and counter kick. From behind, assess by looking over your shoulder, secure the holding hand, turn side on and raise your guard prior to counter-attacking. Should you turn in the opposite direction, cover the exposed back of your neck with your guarding arm prior to counter-kicking. Step forward. Turn side on always. To combat the double hand strangle from the front, trap your attacker's strangling hand and counter-kick or strike. Turn, trap, strike is the formula. Employ the same option against a single strangle from the front. If you turn outside your attacker's strangling arm, bring your arm over the top and drop it down, breaking the grip prior to counter-striking or kicking. From the side, simply trap and strike. There is no need to turn side on, you are already in a safe position. Trap halfway between the elbow and wrist. A double strangle from behind can be countered by stepping forward, turning side on, raising your guard and counter-striking or kicking. To break someone's grip who is holding your wrist from the front, turn side on, bring your arm over and snap it down, breaking the grip. To combat grabs while seated, trap and strike. Break the grip and strike. Break the grip by hitting between the elbow and wrist. Or simply immediately counter elbow or hand edge strike. If pulled out of a chair, turn side on and trap. Counter strike or kick. Turn side on to protect your front. Trap your attacker and counter strike or kick. To counter a punch or kick while seated, cover and counter axe kick. Cover guard position and counter axe kick. You may need to deflect his blow if it comes between your counter guard prior to axe kicking. To counter after a grab or being pushed, take small steps to the rear, then take a large step to offset the balance, then counter kick. Small steps to the rear, a large step, and then counter kick. When pulled forward, take small steps forward until you reach a balanced position. Then with your rear foot, step diagonally forward to line you up for a counter kick. Small steps diagonally forward. Cross over and counter kick. If pushed from behind, Go forward with the momentum, turn side on and raise your guard to assess and then counter strike or kick. If pulled backwards from the rear, as you lose your balance, revolve in a circular motion. Bring your elbow over the attacker's arms and attack with your secondary hand. To counter a full Nelson, circle the attacker's arm above the elbow, step around, leg stamp, chop the groin, and elbow and counter attack. Circle the attacker's arms and put weight on his stationary leg and kick it. Attack his groin, then come upstairs. To combat a headlock from the side, swing your closest arm over his closest shoulder, attacking his face and eyes, and follow up with your secondary hand. Counter a strangle from the rear, turn your chin into the V of the elbow, pull down on his forearm with both hands, turn side on towards the V of his elbow, bend towards the V of the elbow, and counter kick below the knee joint. To counter a bear hug from the front with your arms free, slip your lower hand around behind his back. Chin jab him under the chin and bring your knee up into the groin. Secure his lower back. Chin jab, knee to the groin. Counter a bear hug with the arms pinned, drive your knees forward into his knees, raise your guard, step back and attack his groin with both hands. Knees forward, arms up, step back to create a gap, attack. Knees forward, arms up, step back to create a gap, axe kick or attack his groin. To counter a bear hug from behind, reach around and secure him above the elbow. Kick to destroy his platform and elbow high. Reach around, turn towards his leg and kick an elbow high. Reach around to stop him getting away. Counter, strike or kick. To counter a bear hug with your arms pinned, step to the side with both feet. Attack his groin, elbow to his body, chin jab to his face. Step to the side and strike. Elbow, chin jab. To counter a headlock from the side with a punch, stop the punch with your free hand, reach over as before, attack the face and eyes, pulling the head backwards. Stop the punch, reach over, pull his head back. To counter a strangle with your hips turned in, slide your foot back to find where his leg is, donkey kick it to the rear, and then turn side on to the V of the elbow and leg stamp. Map it out by sliding your foot back. Donkey kick, turn side on to the V of the elbow, counter kick.
Concentrates on disarming short, long-edged and bludgeon-type weapons, under entry attack conditions or under threat being held at weapon point.
To disarm a short, edged or bludgeon-type weapon, create a reactionary gap of no less than 2 meters. Remain in a neutral position and focus your eyes on the weapon and not the attacker. When the weapon is in its final assault to you, the target, take a small diagonal step forward, attack the weapon holding hand by striking the mound of the forearm, and securing the weapon holding hand by applying an opposing force's grip. Evade away from the travel of the weapon. Attack the mound of the forearm with the weapon holding hand, secure the wrist, thumb down with your fist grip and thumb up with your second grip, and apply a counter kick below the knee joint. Evade the strike weapon holding hand. Secure thumb down with your first grip and thumb up with your second grip. Keep your arms locked straight to keep the weapon away from you. Keep the weight on his leg after securing it and prior to executing the counter kick. Against multiple slashes and thrusts, wait till the final strike when the weapon is on its travel to you, the target, and evade away from its travel, attacking, securing the weapon holding hand, and executing a counter kick. Evade away when the weapon is on its final assault to you, not prior. evade away from its final travel, attack the mount of the forearm, secure the weapon holding hand, and counter-strike. If the weapon is immediately retracted, after extension, evade, assess, and counter-strike or kick. Regardless of the type of weapon, the same principle can be applied. Create a reactionary gap, evade away from its travel, and when the attacker's weapon is fully committed, attack and secure the weapon holding hand. The longer the weapon, the more steps you will take, not the larger the steps, as your trailing leg will be left on the confrontation line. Create a reactionary gap, wait till the attacker is fully committed and take a combination of small steps away to your attacker's side, using him as a shield against the weapon and counter-kick. As long as the weapon is a long weapon, it does not matter whether it's sharp or blunt, the same method can be applied. Always watch the weapon, not the attacker. Watch the striking end of the weapon. If attacked with a weapon from close in, parry to the rear and secure the weapon if it is safe to do so, or the weapon holding hands, prior to counter-attacking. Put one foot diagonally to the rear and with a rearward parrying motion, secure it. The weapon could be a common everyday household item like a broom, a machete, pool cue or baseball bat, and the same evasive actions can be used. If you have the time and distance, using an accumulation of small steps away from the travel of the weapon, secure the weapon or the attacker and counter-strike or kick. If the weapon is retracted, rather than attacking the weapon hand, attack the attacker's major vitals. Destroy his platform and reduce the threat. If held at weapon point, always move directly away from the weapon. Secure the weapon holding hand and counter-strike. Slide your foot back, secure the weapon, pin it on his hip and counter-strike. Move directly away from the weapon, secure the weapon holding hand and counter-attack. Talk to your opponent first, and when he answers your question, this will be his slowest reaction time. Make your move. Step back away from the weapon, secure the weapon, lock it down into position and counter-strike or kick. Always move directly away from the weapon. Secure the weapon holding hand, keep it away from you and counter-strike or kick. To counter a long weapon from the front at close quarters, cross over, pull down to break the center of balance, and counter-strike or kick. To counter a long weapon from the front at close quarters, cross over, pull down to break the center of balance, and counter-strike or kick. To strip someone of the weapon, turn it violently diagonally side on and counter-strike or kick. From behind, cross diagonally over, pull down on the weapon, elbow to the body, kick to the knee or chop to the groin. To strip the attacker of the weapon and to use it on him if necessary. Cross over diagonally, elbow, chop, kick. Strip him of the weapon. If someone in a confrontation situation goes for his pockets, secure the hand in the pocket and counter-strike or kick, for he may have a weapon in that pocket. Secure his hand in the pocket and counter-strike or kick.